Martian TV, everybody welcome in. Sorry y'all for the bad news, but we knew this was coming and we had to bring this up as a topic of discussion. I'm here to show y'all the court footage of one of the guys who participated in killing Dolph. Condolences and prayers to young Dolph and his family, and to the fans, and to the victims of all the families involved, even the killers, because you know they got families too who could be innocent and living their life and not a part of that negative energy. So when we want to see justice for people being wronged, sometimes we take it out on family or people that don't got nothing to do with it. I blame people who associated or who involved directly. Now, if you involve indirectly, you still shiesty too, depending on how much you know about the situation. Because if you know some shiesty going on and you just let it roll off you, and it's potentially something that you could do to change it, you just as shiesty, you just as wrong, you just as bogus. So, you know, shouts out to young Dolph, his kids, and his baby mama and his family. The guy's name's Justin, who did this. Another guy, Hernandez, and Cornelius Smith, I believe his name. He admitted to being the shooter. So basically, this footage is showing y'all the interview of the Memphis police, the Memphis detectives, and their investigation, their ballistics. I got footage of the crime scene at Makita Cookies. I got the 2014 Mercedes-Benz that's implicated in the crime scene and that was used in the murder allegedly. We got fingerprints, we got testimonies, we got people telling on themselves, we got people fumbling their testimonies. So y'all get ready. I'm gonna show y'all a little bit of this court footage to validate my claims of what we're speaking up on and this unfortunate situation with Dolph. Yeah, y'all.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Sergeant Danny. Good afternoon. First, let me just say I feel for you. I was in that same predicament about 2 years ago. So I hope you feel better soon. So I want to go over some of the things you testified to when you were on direct with the state, okay? A couple of things you talked about is one of the lead detectives on this case, and it's your role anytime you approach a crime scene. Right? And I think you testified that you're there to collect facts. Correct. Try to preserve evidence. Correct. Right? So that you can investigate and find out who done it, essentially. Correct? Correct. Right? Agree with me, it's super important when you're going on a crime scene to preserve the crime scene. Correct. Right? Because you don't want to corrupt evidence. Correct? You also want to exhaust every avenue possible to try to find evidence. Is that accurate? Yes, sir. Okay. And so that's why you said you talked about forensic testing. You collect things in a certain way on a crime scene so that you can then provide that to CSI or the TBI or whoever that can actually test it to see if it can give you more information. Is that fair? Fair. Now, couple of things. I'll start with the initial video. I'm going to try to go in chronological order as to how you hit it earlier on direct. You talked about the handgun and the rifle, style, assault rifle style weapon in the video. And at one point in time, you said that the handgun that was being held by one of the people was consistent with a .40 caliber. It's probably more accurate to say, it's consistent with any pistol. Could have been any caliber of pistol, correct? Correct. Just by looking. Just by looking. Right. And when you say consistent with a .40 caliber, you're really basing that off of the shell casings you would have found out in the parking lot. Is that correct? Shell casings and handguns. Okay. But there was nothing significant that you can tell from that video that can tell you that's a .40 caliber versus a 9mm versus a .380 or a .45. Okay. Now, you testified that you never recovered the murder weapons, correct? Correct. And you were asked a question of, in kind of normal course, if you recover bullets from a scene, right, and or casings from a scene, and you have a weapon you can test it against, that you can take the ballistics and they can run testing to see if it matches. Is that correct? That's correct. Now, even if you don't recover the weapon, is it possible to determine a caliber, what potential caliber a fired bullet would have been? So, you pull a fired bullet from the wall at Makita Cookie or from some other place where those bullets went. Is there a way to test that and go, is this a .40 caliber? Is this a .7.62? Is this a 9? Or
I'm sure it is. That would be the crime scene and collected and whoever they sent it off to testing.
Okay. And just to be clear, at Makita Cookie, y'all recovered several bullets and bullet fragments from various locations at Makita Cookie. Is that correct? Correct. As far as you know, was any testing done of those bullets and or bullet fragments to determine whether they were .40 caliber or .7.62 rounds?
Are you saying the bullets or the casing?
The bullets.
Bullets. No, I'm not.
Okay. And you also receed back into evidence from the medical examiner several bullets and bullet fragments. Is that correct? That's correct. And to your knowledge, at any point in time, did anyone try to test those? Not to put them to a firearm, because you didn't have the particular firearm, but to determine what caliber of bullets were recovered from Mr. Thornton.
Should possibly the crime scene or whoever.
Now, the prosecution is interviewing a detective at the scene of Makita's Cookies, as you're seeing. He basically questioning him about the ballistics, about, was it a .40 cal? Was it a 9? What's the difference between the bullets? Different variations of this case to basically solidify that these guys are actually guilty, law-wise, evidence-wise. So they doing whatever they could do to present that. I'm finna show you guys the guy who actually so they even show So, that's the guy right there that allegedly participated in killing young Dolph. Rest in peace, Dolph. He's sitting there patiently hearing all the testimonies and all the evidence presented. The gunman already gave his testimony. They got footage from the days leading up to the murder, hours leading up to the murder. They got footage of this guy that I'm showing y'all right here leaving this apartment and, you know, going to get weapons. It's amazing to me with the technology that they was able to confiscate that type of evidence leading up to this murder. It's like they got footage of all three of these guys, the Hernandez, Cornelius, and this guy Justin, or Jaden, I believe is his name. They got footage of these guys 7 hours before the murder in Dolph. So that's what's more compelling to me than anything with the Melly and Young Thug situations. They don't got as much footage. You know, they using interviews from Woody in 2015 and 2019 and all that crazy stuff. But with the Dolph murder, they actually got footage of these guys, like watching them from Orange Mount, Tennessee, like different spots. Like they actually had surveillance on these guys. So it's crazy to me how they backtracked and was able to dig up this surveillance, but it wasn't nothing suspect in their behavior for this murder to be stopped. You know, from a premeditated standpoint, where was somebody at to try to stop it? Or, you know, to mess up this lick. So that's real compelling that the feds and the Memphis PD was able to go and confiscate footage of these guys leaving apartments and, you know, their hoods or whatever, leading up to the murder. It's like, I wish they could have did this before these guys came and killed Dolph, you know? So, prayers and condolences. Love to the Most High. Much love out to the Israelites, the Muslims, Christians, all the religions, but in particular, my Israelites, and everybody who rocking with the Most High, period. I'm not gonna label you as far as what religion you coming from. But I just want to put that out there, man, with the good vibes and let everybody know, man, regardless of what y'all going through, that we got to keep moving and stay strong, and that we got to figure out a way to stop situations like this and us losing valuable people like Dolph. You know, like I said, these guys didn't even get nothing out of the murder. Allegedly, it was a $100,000 hit from Big Jook, which is Yo Gotti's brother. And we all know Big Jook is dead, allegedly from retaliation for the Dolph murder. And that's why Gotti been pretty much laying low and staying out the way. So, I just want to say, y'all, and everybody in Memphis, man, I got family out there. Much love, man, to Tennessee and to the city of Memphis. And for us as a collective to try to deal with these situations from a different angle. The casualties ain't worth it. But y'all meant to make this video short. And peace and love and blessings. Martian Man TV. We'll be back.